If you miss a car payment, your car might get repossessed. Miss a house payment, it gets foreclosed.
That's right, but here's something you may not know. Failing to pay your rent-to-own bill could land you in jail.
Yes, it really is happening right here in Texas. Tanya Eisner investigates.
Hi.
When you're a mother,
I just want them to have all the things that I didn't have.
the last thing you want is to be separated from your child.
My kids were scared.
DeAndrea Lowe's daughter was a newborn when the cops came for her in 2016.
It was terrifying. It was like we murdered somebody or something.
Lowe, along with her then boyfriend, were charged with felony theft.
I told them I never rented from them, but it was my word against theirs.
Her then boyfriend had rented 2 used TVs and a used Sony PlayStation from a rent-a-center. When the boyfriend didn't make the payments, it was game over.
Because I was like, a felony? Wow.
The arrests were made under Texas laws covering rental contracts, even though Lowe didn't even sign the contract. Both of them were indicted. That's right, indicted after he stopped making payments on rents at electronics.
She wasn't even there at the time when I even rented this stuff.
Critics say state law is on the side of rent-to-own companies. The law presumes that customers who failed to pay may have outright stole the property.
But this is de facto debtor prison type of legislation, whereas someone could actually go to jail for not paying on a contract.
State Rep Nicole Collier of Fort Worth sits on a House panel looking at overhauling the law.
Law enforcement has their hands full. We don't need them going out there to enforce private contracts.
Private contracts that can involve something as little as a rented couch. LaAngel Eccles is a single mother of 5.
We've never heard of, a law of if you're not making a payment, they're going to issue a warrant for you.
Eccles has successfully completed several rent-a-center agreements.
Those whirlpools are really high.
But she says she lost her job and fell behind on a rented TV.
They are bullies that don't deserve people's money.
But then came the call from a Dallas police detective.
And she told me if I didn't turn it in, that they was going to issue a warrant for my arrest and that I would be prosecuted.
How frightening was that?
It was frightening. It was real frightening. That a felony, I don't know. My background is completely clean. I would like to keep it that way.
She returned the TV, but the call was terrifying. Plano-based Rent-A-Center is the nation's largest rent-to-own company.
Small payments.
They boast in commercials that they do not do credit checks.
All without credit.
Some say that's the problem.
And to hear that in this day and age just to me was absurd.
So when a customer quits paying, the company depends on the cops to step in.
You're putting it back on the taxpayers.
Former Dallas Police financial crimes detective Mike Dana.
You're putting it back on, overtaxed detectives and investigators to basically follow up on a case where you created bad paperwork and you didn't do your due diligence.
We tried to get Rent-A-Center to answer questions on camera. They declined. But this is what one of the company's top lawyers had to say when he appeared before a state House committee.
No one is being prosecuted for failing to make their rental payments.
This lawyer might not know about Keith Creer or the dozens of North Texans we found arrested after defaulting on a Rent-A-Center contract.
It is about the return of that product. It is not about collecting money.
Matthew Greenwald told legislators only a fraction of its rental contracts resulted in filed police reports, out of tens of thousands of rental agreements signed in Texas.
99.28% of all of the stolen accounts don't qualify for criminal prosecution under our process.
Rent-A-Center does not tell customers that they could face potential criminal penalties, and it's not in their contracts. Rent-to-own companies are required to put it in big, bold letters on their contracts in other states like Florida.
Without exception, everyone is shocked to learn that they could be criminally prosecuted for this.
Waco attorney Jason Milam told legislators he's represented more than a dozen clients in rent-to-own cases.
This law should be changed.
Should you have ever been indicted to begin with?
No.
It took more than a year, but the charges against Lowe were finally dropped.
You just basically accused me and you lied on me.
Rent-A-Center says it's just protecting its property. But people like Lowe and Eccles say customers deserve to know that rented TV could put them behind bars.